Tantric dates are the best. Okay, here is something to understand about when you start connecting with somebody in a tantric way, tantric coupling or tantric dating. So there are a few things that are really important. The first one is that when you are bringing the tantric energy into your coupling or dating connection, you are going to start really activating a tantric temple. It means that instead of just being you and your partner over here, there is going to be a third intelligence. Imagine like an angelic force that starts sponsoring your relationship. So when you have a date, when you go on a date, you can call that love appointments. I call them tantric dates. And when you come into a date together, you really activate a space of sacredness, a little bit like a sacred temple. And you enter into this temple together. And one of the things that happens as well when you start setting up those tantric dates is that you're going to create some form of ritual. Sometimes it's a free-flow ritual. You just arrive over there and you do whatever you want. You might be singing, you might be connecting, sensualizing, making love, whatever this might be, or having deep conversations about something, right? But what you can do as well is have a little bit more of a structured ritual. So in a structured ritual, when you want to establish sensuality with somebody, when you want to establish really an energetic connection with that person, you can start by just bonding, but on an energetic level. It means that you are going to shake or breathe or do some form of practices, sing some mantras without actual physical touch. It is a transcendental connection or an energetic connection where you start entering into resonance and vibration with that specific person. And this is really powerful because very often what's going to happen is that if you go straight from having been apart, for the whole day and then you go straight into lovemaking, there are lots of emotions in the field. Lots of things have been happening to either of you during the day. And then you bring that into the lovemaking. Your mind might be trapped into thoughts and what happened at work and so on. And then you engage into the lovemaking, but you bring all this baggage into the lovemaking. And that's going to influence your capacity to open up and your ability to be super present there, your ability to be there with your partner and really be listening to what's going on with them. So when there is a foreplay time, which has to do with energetic and emotional release, getting rid of what doesn't, serve you there, take a cold shower, go into the jungle, jump into the river, do something that is going to activate a sense of energetic and emotional freedom in your system. That way you can clear all that out of the field and connect with your partner. So this buildup of energy is really important. When I engage into a tantric date, when we have this appointment or connection, and it's really a dedicated time where, we spend 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, it can be longer, it can be a whole weekend together, then we're going to really create a container that is really safe. Most of the times removing technology out of the space, and really focusing on building up the connection and the tantric connection. Again, all of that involves also invocations and active meditations to connect with the spirit of Tantra. The spirit of Tantra is intelligent. It's a magical, powerful force that is ready to pour its love into your system. And in my experience, making love and connecting sensually with somebody, with the activation of that temple, with the sacralization of this space, is a completely different experience than just engaging into connection on the 3, 4 dimensional dimensions of time and space. If the sacredness hasn't been created, the experience might be really beautiful, it might be fine, might be really a beautiful sensual experience, erotic, lots of pleasure, it's possible, but then it might be missing this level of connection with source. And in my own experience, I can see the big difference. And for instance, if we arrive and we are on a tantric date and we start by first singing mantras and connection and so on, and activating our connection on an energetic level, there is going to be a deepening, there is going to be a presence, a sensualizing, and the pleasure capacity is going to be expanded as well, magically and profoundly. So that's it for now. There is so much more to say about these tantric dates. If you have the feeling that you would like to build them up with your partner, I have lots of ideas on how to create intentional touch, the kind of techniques and practices, rituals that you can use. You can, play with lots of different elements, flavors, and activating all the different senses that are there for you. And there is a certain structure or a certain pathway or certain yeah, flow that you can activate. Again, one thing that is important is that once you know these techniques and you have a certain structure, it doesn't mean that you have to be locked within that structure. Sometimes I will be on a tantric date and it's going to be a free flow date. There's no structure. We just come, meet, see what happens, sing a couple of mantras, but that's it. And sometimes there is going to be a structure which is a bit stronger. And you might be like, wow, engaging with structure and discipline and practices in the sexual or erotic space, does that work? Absolutely. Take an example. For instance, if you engage and you start kissing or having physical touch, very often we are going to move really fast between the different elements and different practices. For instance, with kissing, right? You might start kissing somebody, kissing your partner, and that lasts for, a few seconds, and then you move to another part of the body. But imagine that you stay really present, and you have a timer, and you say, for the next 5 minutes, we're going to focus on very soft touch on the lips. That's it. Nothing else. The rest of the body is not engaged, and you just focus on the sensations there. Then that's going to allow you to go way, way deeper into the lovemaking, because suddenly you have a tremendous, deep, profound presence at that moment with your partner. It allows you to increase your pleasure capacity and expand your potential with your partner. So discipline, structure, I know that those words can be a little bit triggering, but I can tell you that in the times where I tried to activate precisely structure, and as long as we are both in agreement with that, right? You don't want to just set up some form of structure without warning your partner and without agreeing with that. It has to be something that you decide together. The possibility of building up, energetic love, resonance, pleasure, passion and fire together is massively increased. And of course, after a moment you might enter into free flow with your partner. So that doesn't mean that you sustain the discipline and the structure forever. Sometimes it's like 1 hour of practices, and then you move into free flow. So we play with all of that. Remember that tantric sex, tantric lovemaking, tantric dates, all that is first an art form. It's not about following just a linear recipe and always doing the same thing. No, it's like you want to be creative with all that. And yeah, it's beautiful. Keep on exploring and reach out if you have any questions.